Germany's population today is a vibrant mosaic shaped by centuries of migration, historical upheavals, and economic transformations. The nation has always been a crossroads for cultures and peoples, from the Germanic tribes that settled the region in antiquity to the waves of European migrants and refugees who arrived in more recent centuries. This diversity is not only a reflection of demographic change but also a narrative of human resilience, adaptation, and contribution, as each group leaves its imprint on the economic, cultural, and social life of the country. In understanding Germany today, one must recognize how historical circumstances, labor demands, political shifts, and global conflicts have created a society in which multiple ethnic groups coexist, influence each other, and continue to reshape the national identity. The German majority, making up roughly 68.66% of the population, is the foundation upon which the nation's identity rests. This group has maintained cultural traditions, language, and social norms over centuries while also adapting to the ever-changing currents of history. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Germany experienced large-scale emigration as millions of Germans sought economic opportunity in the Americas. Many left rural regions devastated by economic hardship, looking to build better lives abroad. Despite this outflow, Germany remained a land of cultural continuity, with its language, art, and social structures deeply embedded in European history. After the devastation of World War II, Germany transitioned into a country of immigration. Millions of refugees, displaced persons, and later labor migrants entered the country, fundamentally changing its demographic composition. The post-war economic boom, known as the Wirtschaftswunder, created a pressing need for labor, which led to agreements with countries like Turkey, Italy, Greece, and Yugoslavia to supply guest workers. These migrants were initially expected to stay temporarily but gradually settled permanently, integrating over generations while contributing significantly to Germany's economic reconstruction. Today, the German majority continues to play a vital role in shaping national culture, balancing deep-rooted traditions with a society increasingly influenced by its immigrant population. Average house prices for ethnic Germans sit at approximately $562,000, though urban centers like Munich and Frankfurt command significantly higher costs due to limited housing supply, whereas more suburban and rural areas remain comparatively affordable, allowing many families to own spacious homes outside city centers. The Turkish community in Germany represents one of the most significant and culturally influential ethnic minority groups. Turkish migration began primarily in the 1960s, when labor shortages prompted West Germany to recruit Gastarbeiter from Turkey. Many arrived under the expectation that they would work temporarily, sending remittances home before returning, yet a large proportion chose to remain and establish permanent lives in Germany. Over decades, Turkish immigrants founded vibrant communities in Berlin, Cologne, Frankfurt, and other cities, introducing culinary traditions, music, religious practices, and festivals that are now woven into the urban fabric. Turkish Germans have navigated the complex balance of preserving heritage while embracing German civic life, with second- and third-generation citizens excelling in education, business, and the arts. Their presence has transformed neighborhoods, creating multicultural spaces that reflect both Turkish and German identities. Housing trends among Turkish-German families often favor urban apartments or suburban homes within proximity to workplaces and schools, with average house prices in these areas ranging from $400,000 to $500,000. The integration of Turkish migrants has not been without challenges, yet their contributions to the economy, culture, and society have become undeniable, illustrating how a once temporary labor force can evolve into an essential component of a nation's identity. Polish migration to Germany has long historical roots, but the most significant influx occurred after Poland joined the European Union in 2004. Germany's economic strength and higher wage levels attracted large numbers of Poles seeking improved opportunities. Many Polish migrants settled in industrial regions such as North Rhine-Westphalia, Lower Saxony, and the Ruhr Valley, areas with strong demand for labor in manufacturing, construction, and service industries. Polish immigrants have contributed culturally as well, bringing with them traditions in cuisine, music, and festivals that enrich German life. Beyond culture, they have had a significant economic impact, with many taking up roles in both skilled and unskilled labor markets. Polish-German families tend to reside in suburban or urban areas where housing is affordable yet convenient for commuting to employment centers. Average house prices for Polish-German families typically range between $350,000 and $450,000, reflecting a balance between economic capability and quality of life considerations. The presence of Polish communities has fostered strong transnational ties, as families maintain connections to their homeland while fully participating in German society. The Russian community in Germany is complex and diverse, encompassing ethnic Russians, Jewish migrants from the former Soviet Union, and Germans who had settled in Russia centuries ago and later returned as Spätaussiedler. Many arrived during the 1990s and early 2000s, fleeing economic instability or political uncertainty in their home countries. The German government facilitated the integration of ethnic Germans from Russia, granting them citizenship and support programs, which enabled them to establish themselves relatively quickly. Russian Germans have contributed extensively to education, healthcare, business, and the arts while maintaining cultural traditions, such as Orthodox Christian practices, language schools, and cultural centers. Housing for Russian German families often centers around urban hubs like Hamburg, Düsseldorf, and Munich, with average house prices ranging from $300,000 to $400,000, offering access to employment, community networks, and amenities. The Russian community illustrates how diverse migratory streams, from economic migrants to ethnic returnees, can integrate into German society while preserving distinct cultural identities. The Syrian community in Germany is a more recent but equally significant contributor to the nation's multicultural fabric. The civil war in Syria, which began in 2011, resulted in a mass displacement of civilians seeking safety from violence and instability. Germany responded with an open-door policy, offering asylum to hundreds of thousands of Syrian refugees. These refugees arrived with hopes of safety, stability, and the opportunity to rebuild their lives in a new country. Integration programs, including language courses, vocational training, and education opportunities, have been crucial in facilitating adaptation to German society. Syrian German families have settled in both urban and smaller town environments, forming supportive communities while contributing to local economies through entrepreneurship, service industries, and skilled labor. Housing costs for Syrian German families reflect both affordability and access to employment, with average prices in major cities like Berlin or Hamburg ranging from $400,000 to $500,000. The integration of Syrians demonstrates the interplay between humanitarian policy, community support, and economic contribution, highlighting how recent migration continues to shape Germany's social landscape. The Ukrainian community represents one of the newest and fastest-growing migrant populations in Germany, a direct result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Over 1 million Ukrainians sought refuge in Germany, arriving under emergency protection schemes. These newcomers often arrived with minimal resources but a strong desire to rebuild their lives, work, and integrate. Many Ukrainians have engaged in vital sectors such as healthcare, education, technology, and service industries. Their communities have quickly developed, including cultural centers, language programs, and social networks that provide both support and a sense of belonging. Housing for Ukrainian German families is primarily concentrated in urban areas, with average prices ranging from $500,000 to $600,000 in major cities, though smaller towns and suburban areas offer more affordable options. The Ukrainian migration wave illustrates how global geopolitical events can reshape local demographics, creating new social dynamics while reinforcing Germany's role as a refuge and economic hub. Germany's housing market is a mirror of its demographic diversity, reflecting economic capacity, migration patterns, and urban development. In general, average house prices are approximately $562,000 nationwide, with apartment prices averaging $253,600. Urban centers like Munich, Frankfurt, and Berlin remain among the most expensive, driven by high demand and limited housing availability, while regions such as Saxony and Thuringia offer more affordable alternatives below $350,000. Housing preferences among immigrant groups vary according to income, family size, and community networks. Urban areas tend to attract younger professionals and recently arrived migrants seeking employment opportunities, while suburban and rural areas are preferred by established families who prioritize space, schooling, and quality of life. The diversity of housing patterns reflects not only economic realities but also the social integration of ethnic communities, with neighborhoods often evolving into culturally rich enclaves that maintain heritage while contributing to the broader society. The economic and cultural contributions of Germany's diverse ethnic groups are inseparable from the nation's development. From the labor provided by guest workers in the post-war period to the entrepreneurial spirit of Poles, Russians, Syrians, and Ukrainians, Germany's growth has been fueled by immigration. Beyond economics, cultural life has been enriched through music, cuisine, literature, festivals, and religious practices, creating a society where multiple identities coexist, interact, and inspire. The balance between integration and heritage preservation defines Germany's approach to multiculturalism, ensuring that diversity strengthens rather than fragments the social fabric. Each community, whether long-standing or newly arrived, contributes unique perspectives, skills, and traditions, enhancing the collective identity and resilience of the nation. Germany's ethnic composition reflects centuries of migration, conflict, and opportunity. The German majority provides a cultural backbone while immigrant communities infuse the nation with dynamism, creativity, and labor. The Turkish, Polish, Russian, Syrian, and Ukrainian populations each bring their own histories, motivations, and contributions, from economic labor to cultural enrichment. Housing trends across these groups highlight the interplay between income, community networks, and urbanization, illustrating how demographic patterns influence property markets and regional development. Understanding Germany's ethnic diversity is essential not only to appreciate its present cultural landscape but also to anticipate the social and economic dynamics that will shape its future. With an average house price of $562,000 nationwide and countless cultural threads woven together, Germany stands as a testament to how migration, resilience, and diversity can create a society that is both stable and continuously evolving, where the stories of all its inhabitants, past and present, form the fabric of a nation that embraces both history and change.